shaking as I pressed into his the scrap of paper on which I'd written my name. He glanced at it and copied it into a book. I tried to say something, but there was no sound. He smiled and thanked me, and yet I didn't budge. "Is there something else?" he asked. I flapped my hands. The woman behind me gave me an impatient look and pushed forward to greet him. Like a fool, I flapped. What could he do? He signed the woman's book. It was uncomfortable for everyone. My hands danced on. The line had to move around me. Occasionally he looked up at me, bewildered. Once he smiled at me the way you smile at an idiot. But my hands fought to tell him everything, at least as much as they could, before a security guard firmly grasped my elbow and escorted me out the door. It was winter. Fat white flakes drifted down under the street lamps. I waited for my son to come out, but he never came. Maybe there was a back door. I don't know. I took the bus home. I walked down my snow-covered streets. Out of habit, I turned and checked for my footsteps. When I arrived at my building, I looked for my name on the buzzers. And because I know that sometimes I see things that aren't there, after dinner I called information to ask if I was listed. That night, before I went to sleep, I opened the book, which I'd put on my bedside table. To Leon Gursky, it said. I was still holding the book when the man whose door had unlocked came up behind me. "You know it?" he asked. I dropped it, and it landed with a thud at my feet, my son's face staring up. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to explain. "I'm his father," I said. Or maybe I said, "He's my son." Whatever it was, I got the point across because the man looked shocked, and then he looked surprised, and then he looked like he didn't believe me, which was fine with me, because after all, who did I think I was, showing up in a limousine, picking a lock, and then claiming to be the progenitor of a famous writer? Suddenly I was tired, more tired than I'd been in years. I leaned over, picked the book up, and put it back on the shelf. The man kept looking at me, but just then the car honked outside, which was lucky because I'd had enough of being looked at for one day. "Well," I said, making my way toward the front door, "I'd better be going." The man reached for his wallet, took out a $100 bill, and handed it to me. "His father?" he asked. I pocketed the money and handed him a complimentary peppermint. I stuffed my feet into my wet shoes. "Not really his father," I said. And because I didn't know what else to say, I said, "More like his uncle." This seemed to confuse him enough, but just in case I added, "Not exactly his uncle." He raised his eyebrows. I picked up my toolbox and stepped out into the rain. He tried to thank me again for coming, but I was already on my way down the stairs. I got into the car. He was still standing in the doorway, looking out. To prove that I was off my rocker, I gave him the Queen's wave. It was 3 a.m. when I got home. I climbed into bed. I was exhausted, but I couldn't sleep. I lay on my back, listening to the rain and thinking about my book. I'd never given it a title, because what does a book need with a title unless someone is going to read it? I got out of bed and went to the kitchen. I keep my manuscript in a box in the oven. I took it out, set it on the kitchen table, and rolled a sheet of paper into the typewriter. For a long time, I sat looking at the blank page. With 2 fingers, I picked out a title, Laughing and Crying. I studied it for a few minutes. It wasn't right. I added another, Laughing and Crying and Writing. Then another, Laughing and Crying and Writing and Waiting. I crumpled it into a ball and dropped it on the floor. I put the water on to boil. Outside, the rain had stopped. A pigeon cooed on the windowsill. It puffed up its body, marched back and forth, and took flight. Free as a bird, so to speak, I fed another page into the machine and typed, "Words for everything." Before I could change my mind again, I rolled it out, laid it on top of the stack, and closed the lid of the box. I found some brown paper and packaged it up. On the front, I wrote my son's address, and flip the switch. A dusty beam lights up the wall, the slide I keep in a jar on the kitchen shelf. I blow on it, drop it in, advance. The picture comes into focus. A house with a yellow door at the edge of a field. It's the end of autumn. Between the black branches, the sky is turning orange, then dark blue. Wood smoke rises from the chimney, and through the window I can almost see my mother leaning over a table. I run towards the house. I can feel the cold wind against my cheeks. I reach out my hand, and because my head is full of dreams, for a moment I believe I could open the door and go right through it. Outside, it was already getting light. Before my eyes, the house of my childhood dissolved to almost nothing. I turned off the projector, ate a Metamucil bar, and went to the bathroom. When I did all I was going to do, I gave myself a sponge bath and dug through the closet for my suit. I found the galoshes I'd been looking for and an old radio. At last, coupled on the floor, the suit, a white summer suit, passable if you ignored the brownish stain down the front. I dressed myself. I spat into my palm and forced my hair into submission. I sat fully dressed with the brown paper package on my lap. I checked and rechecked the address. At 8:45, I put my raincoat on and tucked the package under my arm. I looked at myself in the hall mirror one last time. Then I went out the door and into the morning. I'm gonna stop for there, guys. It looks like after this, we're finally starting the book with chapter 1. That was all the prologue. So, literally parts 1 through 7 were all prologue. I love it, though. It's amazing. Give this video a like if you agree. And subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I come out with the next video in this series. But yeah, we only at page 34, so again, this is The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. Thank you so much for watching.